Welcome to the Nanny, where we partner with parents in raising godly children and children with good morals. Welcome to season 2. Season 1 was basically about the lifespan of the nanny from the time when she gets into her home up to the time when she leaves the home. Now, in my experience as a nanny, I realized how important it is to groom children to grow independent of a nanny. And how do you do that? By teaching the children how to work. When the children learn to work to be independent of the nanny, then the nanny can move on to her next assignment in another home. Now, in my season 2, I am going to talk about how it is very important for children to learn how to work when they are still young. Now, there's a African proverb that says, when a stick is still young, it can easily be bent. But when it grows and you try to bend it, it will instead break. So when someone is still young, the children, they can easily be taught many things and they will adapt, they will learn. But if you delay to teach them, certain things, when they grow older, when you try to teach them those things, they will not, because they no longer have the ability to learn certain things. They will instead break. In other words, they give up on life or they get into so many different addictions and things like that. So we need to train our children when they are still young, the most important things to do with life. The Bible also says in Proverbs, train up a child in the way they should go, such that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. It doesn't say train up an adult. It says train up a child in the way they should go. When they grow up, they will not depart from it. If you train your children to work, when they grow, they will keep in that direction. If you train them to be thieves, they will keep in that direction. If you don't train your children and you leave them for the internet to train or for, other wrong characters to train, they will grow up in that direction. So it is upon us to train our children when they are still young. Now, when I talk about young, I'm looking at the childhood developmental stages. That is from 0 years up to 12. When they get past 12 to the teenage years, now they begin to have their own attitudes. They want their space. They don't want you to teach them this or the other. In that, if you have already taught them the values of life, even though they get into that path, as they grow past the teenage age, they will still go back to what you taught them when they were young. So, my episode 1 today is about okay, what do the children learn from work? So the first thing that they learn is they learn to be responsible. I remember listening to a story of by a friend, and he told us that when he was young, yes, he used to walk to school, and at one point the shoes began to hurt his feet. So he told the mom that, mommy, the shoes are hurting me, and So the mom told him, get some Vaseline and rub onto your feet, and then walk in the sun. I don't know whether the shoes will expand or the feet will grow smaller. I don't know the science behind that, but that's what the boy did anyway. And surprisingly, he actually wore the shoes a little longer. So when it became too much, he told the mom, and I can't walk well. I mean, it's very uncomfortable. The feet are paining. So the mom went and bought him another pair of shoes. When this new pair of shoes arrived, the boy valued the shoes because now he can wear the shoes without, feeling pain. He's comfortable. He's happy. He can study on well. He valued the shoes. You understand? So one thing about responsibility, it's literally teaching your children to value things, to value people, to value situations. I will tell you another story. There was this boy, and yes, when it comes to the beginning of the term, you buy them scholastic materials and all. So this boy used to lose the pen every day. He comes home, the pen is lost. The parent buys another pen. Comes back the next day, the pen is lost. The parent buys another pen. And it just went on like that. And the boy was not really disciplined. So, what is the difference between the two? The first boy is being taught responsibility, he's being taught to value things. The second boy is being sold to irresponsibility. He's being taught to be irresponsible. It may only be a pen, it may be small, but still you're teaching the child to be irresponsible. It's not about the money, you know. It's not that the mother of the first boy could not afford a pair of shoes. She could. But then she wanted to instill in her child the value, the ability to be responsible. The second child is being taught how to be irresponsible. Now, when these two children grow up and jobs are given to them, the first child will, because he has been taught the ability to be responsible and to value things, he will value his job. You know, he will wake up early, he will know, okay, this job is going to bring me earn me an income, which income will make my life much easier. So I need to value this job. He will wake up early to go to work. He will learn to be a team member, to be a team member in a team. He will learn to listen to his leader and all of those things. If he's corrected, he will take on the correction because he values that job, you know. But the other person who has been taught irresponsibility, he won't really mind. He will, I mean, his attitude will be, there's so many other jobs in the country, I can as well get another job. So he won't care whether he comes early or not, whether he hits the targets or not, whether, you know, it is time for team building or not. He will not care. Why? Because in him was sown a seed of irresponsibility. At the end of the day, that child will suffer. And not only that, the parent will feel the pain as well. Now, if we are to relate this value to family, the boy who was brought up being responsible, when he gets married, he will value his marriage, he will value his wife, value his children, value the home, because he knows at the end of the day he was going to be successful, he will be happy. You understand? So he will pay whatever price he needs to pay to be successful. He will take his wife out. He will work so hard to ensure that he provides for his children. You know, maybe if there's a conflict between him and his wife, he will mind to sit and solve that problem. You understand? Because he has been taught responsibility to be responsible. Now, the boy who was taught irresponsibility, he won't mind much. I mean, there are so many other girls out there. I can marry a second. And if the marriage fails, I'll get a third or fourth. He won't care. You understand? He will go give birth to children here, then there's a child here, and there's a child the other side, and you hear of like 10 kids from, I don't know, different women. They just don't value life. They don't value marriage. They don't value family. Why? Because that seed of irresponsibility was sown in him. So, and by the way, that child or that person who is irresponsible, you really can't blame them. That is how they were brought up, you know. So we as parents, it's very important to teach our children to be responsible. That child that loses a pen every day, sit with the child and say, guy, this thing has to stop. You know, I am buying you a pen one more time. If you lose this pen, don't come back asking me for a pen. And if you go to school and they punish you for not having a pen, then you will learn to be responsible. You know, and one thing I learned about children, by the way, they are waiting for us to draw the line and say enough is enough. But as so long as you don't draw the line, they'll keep doing whatever they want. They just don't care. You see. So that child, by the way, after rebuking that child, they'll get serious. They will ensure that I have to keep my pen well. I don't leave the pen maybe on the desk anyhowly, or I don't throw it away. They will be very responsible. They know I have to keep my pen with me. When I'm done, I put it in the bag or in the desk or something like that. just like any other child does, you know. So let us teach our children how to be responsible. Parents, I'm requesting you to work with the nannies to teach your children how to work. Don't leave the whole responsibility to them. You are the main authority in the home. When the nanny says something and you back them up, the children will follow. But if you leave the nanny to try and teach the children how to work without your backing, the children will not follow. And they actually see that you don't seem to be concerned. Then at the end of the day, it will be very hard for the nanny to train your children how to work. You have to work together, partner together as the parents and you and the nannies. All right. Bye bye.